So, welcome to another God experience. And now I'm right on time. The current transit that we are in is Gene Key 55 with the gift and city of freedom, with the shadow of victimization. There's nothing for me to say about, all of us know about we have to take responsibility for everything that happens in our life. So, there's nothing to say there. I can't really comment about the entire, 55th gene key. That's a massive work. But what I did notice uh, is that really this the city of freedom is not exactly really covered in the book. There's a whole, I mean, anybody who's familiar with the gene keys will know that this 55th is like huge, and it really only talks about what is happening in the future that we will be more free as a society and all this sort of stuff, as changes on the planet happen. But it doesn't really talk about what do we really mean from a civic perspective, freedom. What does that mean spiritually? Um, yeah, so I want to it is mind-boggling to me how the synchronicities in my life to kind of wake me up a little bit more to start focusing on that or to remember this show up just in time for the next transit. And what has shown up in my life again uh, is the idea of freedom. And it's kind of like, woo, it's it's taking me down another little rabbit hole. But so I'm going to talk about this idea of freedom and what it means for us on this planet. And it may sound a bit conspiratorial, but anyway, let's first of all, let's look at the numbers and then I'll get to my little story. So what am I doing? Share screen. Yeah, so here we go once again. No surprise. The foundation of freedom, as we've talked about before, it's like every true city word, the foundation is number 7. And just like I said in the other video of rapture, is that the number 7 represents the space in between or the God's perfected space. It's the fourth state. It's awakening and realizing to the fourth state or Turiya, and you can look that up, but it's beyond consciousness. It is the space that's in between. Just like we have the 6 lines of the hexagram, what comes next is the space. It's the space that's around everything, and it is a non-vibrational state. So it's clear and it's empty and it's still and it's full and it's silent. We can't really describe it, right? So that is the foundation of freedom. We need to have awakened, become enlightened, self-realize our true self at the level of the fourth state, that space in between, that space before anything is in manifest reality. It is the potential. Okay. So once we reach that, then of course we are the product, we are the Adam Kadam, we are the perfected man on earth, we are connected to spirit and grounding clean, pure spirit into the physical world. And the success of this realization is that, and this is a very important concept that I'll talk about in just a second. Well, first of all, we are free from the constant up and downs of emotional reactions. That's one aspect of freedom. But it's also meaning that we have reached a new level of not only perception, but our beingness. So let's just say down here, this little triangle fish thing, this is like the physical realm, being trapped in the astral world, being trapped in a place. But this self-realization to the space of the number 7 pushes us up into a whole new level of beingness outside of this matrix that is holding us prison here. Okay, I'm going to stop share. Now I'm going to tell you a little story. Yes, it's going to sound conspiratorial, but yeah. So last week I was doing an oracle session for somebody. And yes, I do oracle sessions for people. Whatever your questions are, health concerns, yeah, I can hopefully help you out with that. Or Kundalini assessments, I can certainly help you with that. Yeah, so where was I? So in this person's questioning, I mean, there was a whole like list of questions, all different categories, but there was one question that was talking about the death traps or the soul traps. And I felt a niggle in my brain. I thought, oh, this is quite a question. Why do I know something about this and yet I've forgotten about it, but I haven't forgotten enough about it that I'm remembering that I know something about that. Anyway, so after doing the oracle session, I knew what the person was talking about. I knew the topic, and I'm sure you do too. But I had to go down the rabbit hole and go, please remind me, what is this about? And it's about that this, as you know, as many of you know, I'm sure you all know, that this is, quote unquote, what is called a prison planet, that there are negative forces on this planet that have created a trap, the reincarnation cycle, that it doesn't matter if we die, when we die, we cannot leave this matrix because they call it a soul trap. Now, look, I've done oracle sessions. I have confirmed this several times, even in the past, that this is true. Farsight, the remote viewing, farsight.com. They did a whole remote viewing about these soul traps. It absolutely exists. There is a matrix here, and it doesn't matter whether you die. I mean, if you die, you can't get out of it. You keep coming back because they want us, they're using us, okay? And I know how crazy this sounds. Now, isn't that coincidental that that would come up just when the city of freedom or the transit of freedom comes up? So how do we get free? And I did a whole oracle session, and I will do a video on what I discovered, and it matches perfectly with what everyone else is saying. But I do the oracle session first. I do my own intuitive hit, and then of course the universe always puts YouTube videos in my feed that says, yes, what you got is correct. Look at what this person is saying. So it's not just my thinking. Anyway, so we have these soul traps, and Farsight has their own like premium movie channel, but I think it's called farsightprime.com. And they did a whole remote viewing about Lao Tzu. And did he, based on a book, anyway, it's a long story, did he escape the soul trap, and how did he do it? So I highly recommend watching that, but you have to kind of do the 7-day free trial and make sure you cancel because they'll charge you right after that. But anyway, so freedom. We all want to be free. We think we're free, but we're not really free. And freedom in this context, in this transit, we have to really think about having the freedom to choose whether we wish to come back to this planet or not. Because what I got is that we are absolutely held on this planet against our will, even after death. And that is not true freedom. And that's what Richard should have covered in the City of Freedom. How do we get truly free as a soul? If our soul is trapped on this planet, and you know it, I think you know it deep down inside, you're like, why do I keep coming back? If you came into this life like I did, like from the moment you were born, screaming and crying, or at least at my earliest memories thinking, what the fuck? What am I doing here, God? And I have memories of when they were asking me to come down to this planet. I did not want to go. I knew it would be difficult. I don't want to be. I'm sure most of you have felt that something is wrong here. Well, this is the thing that's wrong. It is a prison planet, well documented. And so how do we get free, truly free? And this should be the focus of your entire spiritual journey, is getting free, getting to a point in all of your conscious, the crows are coming in, journey, that you can choose the moment of death, whether you want to stay here or not, or die consciously. That's moksha. Anyway, so as the foundation of the word freedom, the crow is in the background, is number 7. What does that mean? It means do not go towards the white light. The white light is false. Can you hear the crow? The crow agrees. Don't go towards any light. What the 7, the foundation 7 of freedom means is that, and enlightenment means coming to that space of no space. I'm going to have to close this door. Come on, Peanut. Beep, beep. Is that it's the process of folding your consciousness back into yourself to the very beginning of that transparent, clear light. If you can die consciously in that space and realize that having realized previously that is your true self, your true nature. I mean, a realization, not an understanding and intellectual, but a full body realization that you are this transparent, empty, still light. And through the process of folding backwards into you, if you can die in that space, you absolutely may get zapped by the white light, but you will have beings. This is what I discovered in my oracle session, and what Farsight also indicates happens. You will be rescued and freed from the reincarnation cycle on this planet, because what happens is that white light zaps you of your memories, and a little being will come in and say, oh, we're the Council of Elders, and why don't you take a look at your life, and you have this lesson unfinished, and wouldn't you like to go back and, make amends and clear your karma with your family? And you're like, oh, sure, because they create this white light tunnel, and it's white, and you think, oh, it feels so good, but do not go there. If you truly want to be free, don't go there. You have to remember, don't go to the object of light, right? That's something outside of yourself. Practice now, folding inwards, going in. On each of these cities is an inward movement, going to and finding the city within you. It's not about finding the city or the gift outside here. No. Anyway, I don't know really what I'm saying, but to me, why did all this come to me this week? Knowing that I would probably say something about freedom. Perhaps it's to share this message with you that please investigate for yourself. This is a prison planet. Don't go into the light. It's a false light. And the only way to escape this planet or to escape the controllers, is to change your whole spiritual journey as an inward movement. Okay, the systems are great for psychological development, but it does nothing to awaken to your true self. Begin this process now, because you don't want to be trapped here again. You want true freedom. And that's how I feel freedom should have been talked about in the Gene Keys. Okay, till next time.